Yeah. I'm not alone this week. Yay.
I'm back. You know how when
Yay.
you go through moments of I'm alone, then you're alone, and now we're
Mm-hmm.
finally back together? That's what these last
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks were of Survivor. And it's
Very that.
okay. It's okay because I was alone and then I left you alone. And now we're back together. And Jack just left us all alone.
Jack is very busy doing all
Jack's
kinds of things, so it's
gamer
fine.
things. Jack has a job and a life doing
Right.
gamer things
Jack
that
has a job in person. We work from
absolutely.
home.
We work
So
from home, so it's easy to just be at home.
Anyway, hello, castaways. Welcome to the Cup TV, part of the Currently Unnamed Podcast Network, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. Gay, and it is still early enough in my day. I'm still working on my first cup of big coffee. Nothing about the coffee is big, just the mug is big. Um, and it's a beautiful hazelnut iced latte today because that was the energy I was feeling on this occasion.
That sounds very you, and I love that for
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Uh, and hello, everyone. Oh, I am Lana,
Ooh.
your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Per, I am currently just sipping on some water because hydration, of course, is always important. And yeah, So drink your water, everybody. Not me
Mm.
spilling. Oh my god.
No, don't do that.
No. But drink your water, everybody. Drink your water. But I also have a mug with me too, Logan. You're not the only person with a mug by your side. Oh wait, I have that mug.
I've got two.
Uh, uh, I just have one very important mug, and you can get your new and improved cup mug at Lana G's Creations at Etsy.com. I got some new orders in and I improved the cup
Yay.
mug. So now the next people who get the cup mug will have a logo on each side
Now
of the cup.
now is the time for me to get mine. I need
Absolutely.
a
It's time to,
second one
I'm
because
going
I
to get
need
me
to
a second
seal this
one.
one.
Yes.
I need to seal this one because I'm very this is not the drag channel. I'm so sorry to our friend Lena Galore. Her signature is getting wiped off of my cup mug as we speak, which is very
Oh
unfortunate.
no.
But
But that's okay.
yes.
I'm gonna get me a new cup mug too, so I can have it, so I can hold it like a regular cup, like a regular mug. But
Yay.
yes, anybody can get trial and error. People, this was a trial, and now we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna we fixed it. So now you can get our new and improved cup mugs at LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally, and we do ship domestically here in the United States. So there are no excuses unless there are some, and you know what those excuses are. But just know whenever you're ready, get your cup merch. Period. We have this and some great other things in our cup in our Etsy shop. I have learned that I have to go back in there and refresh some things, but things have been refreshed, so things are back in the shop. So there we have it.
Yeah. Period.
I'm learning, you guys. I never ran an Etsy shop before, but I'm learning.
This this podcast is a work in progress. Kind of like this
Period.
season of Survivor. It started real
Oh,
good. It's period. Party, 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 party. We've got a lot of things to party about in this episode. I'll
yeah.
say that much. Because this season it started good. I will say it
hmm
slumped a little bit of a slump, and we're right back to really, really strong. This episode was great.
I thought this season started good. Hate the boot order. But
Uh
then I
huh.
also enjoyed I still never for me, I never felt the slump. I always enjoyed
Mm,
every episode. I enjoyed all of it. I felt like some of it because some of it was a little iffy, but not a slump. It was just like,
mm-hmm.
But I've enjoyed it. I hate the boot order. Hate the boot order. But I
Minus one
enjoy the
person
gameplay. Minus one person. Yeah. But I love the
for me.
gameplay that is happening. No, for
Correct.
me too.
Yes.
For me too.
But otherwise, well, now after I will say after this episode, -2.
Great season. Great
Great
season.
season though, and we are here
Thus
to talk
far.
about episode 10.
Yes.
Now we know we've got 4 more episodes, Lana,
Yep.
because they
Mhm.
announced it is not a 13 episode season. Oh no, it is
Nope.
a 14 episode season. Oh, wow.
Ooh, I'm
So we've got 4 more weeks to talk about Survivor. I'm very excited. It's going to
excited.
go right up until the end of the year. And that's how I like my seasons to go. Thank you, Survivor. Take
Period. Me
notes, Canada's Drag
too.
Race.
Right. Come out a little bit earlier, ended at the end of the year. Thank
Period.
you.
Thank you. But we're going to dive into this lovely episode of Survivor. Before we do, though, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time, giving you almost all things competitive reality TV. And currently, that means Survivor and House of Villains and Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
Until next week.
Until next week, because we have more stuff happening and coming in January. We have some stuff coming out in January. And so we will, Dance with the Stars is over next week. Survivor, like we said, at the end of the year. Okay. House of Villains, I think, goes into the next year. I think House of Villains goes into the next year. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. But
who knows with them?
Who knows? Who knows? But that's okay, because in January we got stuff coming back, and I'm excited. It was a show that I saw. Oh gosh, don't. Why is it blanking on me? I was excited for it to come back.
Which one?
Deal or No Deal Island is coming back.
Deal or No Deal Island. Yes, God.
Deal or No Deal Island is coming back in January. So we will have that to talk about. We're gonna get back on our Project Runway game, because I think it's time. We've taken enough time off of Project Runway to go back and start the new season.
Yeah, so that'll be starting soon. We haven't talked about it prior to this exact moment.
Right. I'm thinking the beginning of the year.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm thinking beginning of the year we'll go back and start the new season of Project Runway. And who else knows what else?
But the newest one for us.
The newest one for us. Because we're still at 7.
Season 7. Yay.
But can you believe we got through 6 seasons already? That's wild.
6 seasons in a year is not bad.
Not bad at all.
No. But y'all subscribe. Check out all the links down below. Y'all know what to do. So let's talk about this episode. We come back in after the absolutely tragic elimination of Daddy Saul.
I'm so sorry. I'm I was very annoyed with that one.
The reason I didn't want to take more time last week talking about the recap is because I just didn't want to talk about it as much. I needed a week to process. It's still sad.
I'm very upset because I felt like it was so unnecessary. I said it on last week. Or I said it when I didn't say it because I wasn't here. But that's my thought. I felt the move was very unnecessary at the time. I get, Genevieve, I get making big moves in a game. I get wanting to make big moves, but the big moves need to make sense. And I don't think it made sense for her game, because he was not coming for her.
Nope.
She was not the one he was coming for at all. And you decided, I want to make a big move to be petty because he got rid of Rome. Ew. Like, ew. It was, I didn't think the move made sense. It would have made better sense for them to go after someone in Tuku at this point. At that point, I felt, but you know what? Whatever.
Right. Right.
But I'm glad they didn't go after someone from Tuku, because it would have been Kyle, and I don't want Kyle to go, because Kyle is someone who I like, and I want to
really starting to enjoy Kyle.
I enjoy Kyle a lot, and I am rooting for Kyle, and I know Kyle has to win everything in order to stay. I know this. Yeah. I know this, and so I hope he wins. I'm gonna be honest. I hope Kyle wins everything to get to the finale. Even if he doesn't win the whole thing, I just hope he wins everything to get to the finale, because I love that for him. I love that for him. But
it's very rare too that I am really, really rooting for the dominant man who wins all of the individual immunity challenges.
Same.
But I will say, earlier in the season, y'all could hear it. I was not featuring Kyle that much. I know you were. I've come around to Kyle. There's a couple people I've come around to a little bit more. I will say my current favorites, as far as who is left, because my 2 favorite people of the season are actually both current members of the jury. Sierra and Saul were my 2 favorite players. Because I just think they were both fun,
Mhm.
There was a level of ingenuity to their gameplay that I really, really appreciated. And I will say this, and I was gonna bring this up before we started, but I might as well bring it up here. I don't know. Did you see, Lana, that Jeff and producers teased that there may be someone from 47 that's going to be on 50?
Ooh.
I
No.
fundamentally believe in my heart it's going to be Saul.
I hope
There's
so.
three people. There's three people.
Oh, I think it could be Saul. I
Yes.
think it could be Genevieve
Okay.
because of her. Yeah, she's
I could
spiritual.
see it. Yeah. I could see it.
Or see, this is a toss up. This is a toss up. It's either Gabe or Kyle.
Okay. I've got a different
Different set.
list.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And all three of them are from the same tribe.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it could be Saul. As
Mm-hmm.
much as I don't like him, I do think it could be
Rome.
Rome. I
Yeah.
think it could be Rome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I would be happy or sad. I would probably need to know who was like on the chopping block and Rome got picked over them, and then I'll probably be angry. Or I honestly think it could be Teeny.
Mm.
I think it could be Teeny. And
I just
because
go
of
ahead.
this episode, we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing
Yes.
the rise of Teeny.
Yes. Yes.
Teeny is like
Ash like the phoenix.
Cheetahverse, rise like a phoenix.
The
And we'll
ashes
talk
that
about it.
burn her back.
Let's talk about it at the start of this episode, because
yes.
she starts out this episode, and I did get clarification on pronouns for Teeny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All of the above from what I have read and understood.
Period.
So thank you, Teeny, for clarifying that. So I will probably use a combination of all of the pronouns available.
All of the
Guess
above.
what? I do too. I do
Mm-hmm.
too. So
Period.
we come back in after Daddy Saul has been eliminated. Genevieve is like, Teeny, I'm really sorry. I hope you want to talk, blah, blah, blah. And Teeny's just like, of course I want to talk, Genevieve. Because I was this close to being left out of this vote by you. So of course I want to talk. Again. And I was like, you better, Teeny.
You better,
You
Teeny.
better, Teeny. You better, Teeny. Love Teeny.
Mm-hmm.
Love Teeny.
Mm-hmm.
But then they do have this conversation. This episode felt a lot like around this point last season, Lana, when we were getting kind of the Kenzie, Tiffany hue of it all. And all of them kind of realizing, well, we have kind of been working together all season. Now I think is a point where like we have a lot of respect for each other, but our games are not going in the same direction.
Right.
And we kind of just need to reconcile that and move forward. And there's not going to be an obvious, like, and I'm pretty sure we see this from Genevieve and Teeny at least. Like, I'm not going to actively go after you right now.
Mm-hmm.
We
but
don't
at some
get that
point,
with the other duo. We don't get that from Gabe and Kyle. We get a different energy. But from Genevieve and Teeny in this conversation, they're both kind of like, well, I have a lot of respect for you. I really do love you. But at the end of the day, our games are moving in different directions. We both kind of just need to realize that and move forward. I don't think there's going to be any active targeting anytime soon. But they both kind of gave each other the permission to be like, if you need to go after me, do it.
Right.
So.
Which I get, and I respect that they did that, because you have to have that conversation. It's like, yeah, we were aligned and honest. Absolutely, we were trying to work together, but obviously it's not going that way. You see this game something different for you than what I see for me. And so at some point you're probably going to lie to me, and it's okay, because I've lied to you, and it's fine. I don't hate you. I don't completely not trust you. I just don't fully trust you. And it's okay. It's okay. Look, Logan, we've been in games together where we play games in the same game, and it's like, I love you. And at the end of the day, the game is going to be over, and you're going to still be one of my besties. But
absolutely,
this game we are not aligned in the same group.
Right. Now, obviously, we're not out here playing for $1 million. So there's obviously a little bit of a difference there.
Right.
But no, 100%. Like, there have been many times where we've played together where I'm like, well, fuck. And it's one of those moments where I'm like, well, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
it's
I
like-
need to go after Lana. Like, that is
Right.
just kind of what it is. And it sucks, but it's like, if
It's like-
that's the move people are going with, it's like, and that's
I
very
gotta go with the
teeny,
move. Yes.
going with the move.
Absolutely.
Thankfully, she was informed, but
Because she was not have been.
and I'm glad that she wasn't left out of this vote, unlike somebody in this episode. We'll talk about it. But yeah, they kind of have their reconciliation, whatever. They move on. Cool. We go to the next day, and it's a reward challenge, Lana. Do you remember those?
In my distant memory, I thought they happened. It happened. And it's crazy because I was watching it, and then I had stepped away for a second. And then when I came back, they were already in the challenge. And I was like, is this...
Oh.
I was like, is this not... Oh, it's not an immunity challenge. It's a reward challenge. Love that.
I will also like, it better be a reward challenge. 10 minutes into the episode, it better be a reward challenge. And it was. Very excited about that. So yeah, it is a trio of trios challenge.
Yep.
It is the inch across like a worm, and then you got to roll your ball into 3 different holes of different increasing lengths.
Yes.
And this challenge was a shutout. This was a shutout.
It was a shut. Oh man, it was so bad.
This was a shutout.
Because the teams, the teams itself was just so wildly different. You had Sue with who was on that team? Andy? No. Yeah. Oh, I can't remember. Well, let's just talk about the winning team.
So the first team, it was Genevieve, Sue, and Teeny. The far end team was Sam, Rachel, and Kyle, which would make the middle team Caroline, Andy, and
Gabe.
Thank you. We figured it out together.
There it is. Yeah. Okay. So the inchworm part, Kyle starts with with Caroline and who was it? Who started on the other team?
Caroline.
Was it Andy? Andy. Yeah. Andy starts.
I watched this episode while I was real tired last night, y'all. So I'm working.
I'm getting through, but I watched it live, so it was like okay. But Caroline, it was Caroline, Andy, and Kyle. So for the minute, Caroline was just like, oh, okay, I don't know, she's getting it. But Kyle and Andy doing really good. Then Rachel comes out and she's behind, and she catches up to Caroline, which is crazy.
When Rachel lapped Caroline, I was like, oh, it's over.
It's done.
It's over. It's over.
Done. And then so Rachel gets it, and then Sam comes and just piles his way through. It was that team of Sam, Rachel, and Kyle gets to the rolling like the bowling ball into the hole part before anybody even finishes. Before anybody can even
one of the
team
has 2 people on their mat, and one team just has Caroline.
Yep. It's just not even close.
And then for me, I'm like, why the hell are we sending Sue next instead of Teeny?
Right.
Teeny did not even get to participate in this reward challenge. Teeny just had to stand on the mat and go, yay, woo, go Sue. It was over.
Ridiculous.
It was over. It was over. They killed it.
They ate up. Like literally, Rachel had time to figure out the rolling part like 5 times before she went. Kyle did it like 3 times, and Sam did it on his first try.
Sam got it the first try.
It was so ridiculous. I was like, this is such a blowout. But they got to go to the.
Yeah. I can't move my hands but yeah.
Right up. But they get to go to the sanctuary.
Say it with me, Lana. Where good things happen.
And you know what they got at the sanctuary? You know what they
Healthy
got at the
food.
sanctuary? Rice. Healthy stuff. And
And
rice.
chocolate cake.
Oh,
And
and the
cookies and
chocolate
cream
cake.
cake.
Yes. But I was like, okay, sure.
That
You know
okay.
what?
But
You
to be
need
honest,
healthy
though,
stuff. You need that, though. You do need that kind of
that is the
nourishment.
reward I would want the most. Because
Yes.
if you think about it, the first post merge meal that they really had was the auction. And I'm pissed I wasn't here to talk about the auction because I
Oh, that was
loved
so
this
good.
auction.
It was so good.
I
It was so
loved
good.
this auction. But think about like things at the auction were not the healthiest in the world. So
No,
they've got,
no.
some people have a little bit on their stomachs at this point.
Right.
I would want the healthy reward. Because for
Absolutely.
me, if I'm getting like, I would love a burger. That
Yes.
sounds great. That also sounds like I would be absolutely diarrhea shitting myself for 3 days afterwards. Because if that's the only thing in your stomach, the amount of fat sitting in your no, thank you. Give me a cute little, chicken wrap. Give me some fruits.
Yes.
Give me some, cookies and cream cake. I'll take that because I've got a little bit on my stomach. I can digest that. Hopefully they might have some lactate pills for me because I am lactose averse. And that sounds great. That sounds wonderful.
You shouldn't eat that.
But I would because I'm on Survivor and I need sustenance. Like that's the thing though.
Well, yeah, but I would have eaten it too. You're right, because like you do need that. Like, give me some roughage. Give me some salads, some lettuce, some some carrots, some celery, some cute stuff to sit on my stomach, settle it down a little bit, and then I can eat the burger later.
Right.
But
and my favorite part of this, I have to say, is we're adding to Sam's new repertoire of fruits that he's tried on Survivor. And I am happy to hear that kiwi does place below pineapple for him. This is my favorite subplot of this whole season. It's just Sam trying fruits because he just hasn't before.
I need this man to expand his palate a whole lot more. Even though I agree, I don't like kiwi. I'm not a fan of kiwi. That's not something like the fruit itself. Now, I'll drink strawberry and kiwi like juice. But I don't
kiwi in things is a lovely addition. It's a lovely addition to things.
Kiwi by itself, no thank you.
No.
No.
When I was able to eat pineapple, I would also put pineapple above kiwi.
Me too. For sure, pineapple's above kiwi.
By proxy of the fact that I'm allergic, it's going to be bottom of my list. But
absolutely, pineapple for me is way up there. Give me some pineapple, some grapes, and some apples and orange.
Grapes? I mean, my number one is
plums.
Always going to be a Granny Smith apple. Granny Smith apple is number one for me. I had one yesterday, and I've got 4 sitting on my counter. Love that. But
I love an apple.
Now, I don't know about you, Lana. I really thought this was going to be the reward at we're at the sanctuary. They're getting food. I thought this was going to be the one where they get the loved ones letters.
Me too. I was like, we get a letter or something. I was like,
I really thought that this was going to be the one where they just surprise them with the loved one letters, but
no. And I'm like, we didn't get a letter. There's no advantage. Nothing. They just go to the sanctuary and that's it.
Can we talk about this episode where there are no advantages? There's no journey. There's no one lost their vote in this episode. I was like, can we and we'll talk about it here very shortly. The other thing that happens, but like, this felt so classic Survivor. And I've seen so many people talk online about that so far, but I'm like, this felt the most classic Survivor that we've gotten maybe at all in the new era. And this season has felt like the most like old school Survivor. We got an auction. We like there's a couple episodes with no twists. Like the twists that they do have that are recurring have changed a lot, and I like some of those changes. Like, and then on a whole, this season kind of just feels like, and I love this season even more because, like I've been talking about, I haven't had a consistent favorite from the start. Like, I love John Lovett, and then he got voted out of episode 1. Was rooting for Asia. She got voted out of episode 3. And now I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm happy to go with the wind and see who do I like, who do I not like. Things like that. So, but yeah, I'm like, this is fun. This is cool. This is lovely. Great season.
Love it.
But now, when we're back at camp, We get this whole everyone's kind of talking about the reward and things like that, blah 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 blah. Basically, the contents of the middle part of the episode is, okay, Gabe and Kyle realize we're going after each other.
Yeah.
And that also comes from Gabe talking about it at camp. And then also we have this this reward conversation with Kyle and Sam and Rachel, where they're talking about things. Kyle is like, well, I am ready to turn on Gabe. Sam is really talking about, well, I'm on the bottom, I'm on the bottom, I'm on the bottom. Baby, I don't think you are on the bottom necessarily. I know that 2 votes ago, your number 1 ally got voted out. I wouldn't say Sam is at the bottom.
He's not at the top.
He's not at the top, but he's certainly not at the bottom.
I think he is at the bottom. I'm thinking, I think he kind of is at the bottom. I think he is at the bottom, honestly, because I think people want to keep him as a number, but nobody wants to go far with him. Like, he's nobody's priority at this point.
Except for, and we'll talk about it, kind of teeny.
Now.
Kind of, sort of teeny. Now.
So I think he was kind of at the bottom for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Sam is very open to taking out Gabe. Rachel, though, and I'm loving Rachel too. Loving Rachel, because Rachel has clocked, I think the person that understands the most about my game right now is Genevieve. And I agree. And I agree. And even though Genevieve is not actively targeting Rachel,
she has mentioned her way too many times.
She has mentioned her way too many times. And their games are very parallel.
Yep.
They are playing a very similar game. They both realize one of us needs to go. So when Kyle goes off, Sam and Rachel are able to have a moment. And immediately Rachel's like, well, why the hell did you blow up my spot?
Which I loved her for.
I was so mad at Sam last week for that. I was so mad at Sam last week for that. Like, for what reason? For what reason?
She told you not to do it. And every time she's come to you and say, this is what something is, let's keep it between it, you go off. And like, she has no reason to trust you, Sam. Like, Rachel literally has no reason to trust you. Just like I feel like Teeny has no reason to trust Genevieve. Rachel has no reason to trust Sam, because every time Sam has left her out of a vote, Sam has blown up her spot when she asked not to, and then you want to come to me and say, I really want to work with you. Do you? And you're the only person I owe loyalty to. Am I? Because if that's how you show your loyalty, baby, keep it.
Right.
I don't want that kind of loyalty. It bothered me. I hate that I wasn't here last week to talk about that, because that bothered me so much. I was just like, are you kidding me? 2 seconds. You couldn't even wait 2 seconds. She was like, don't blow up my spot. Okay.
Proceeds to blow up my spot.
Like, oh my God. It drove me nuts. Drove me nuts. But she did. I appreciate Rachel coming to him and like, look, why did you do that? You keep saying that you're the person, I'm the person you want to work with. I'm the person you owe loyalty to. But I can't even trust you not to tell something that I've asked you not to tell. Yeah. And he was like, I know that was on me. And I appreciate this conversation too, because he did take accountability and ownership of his mistake. Yeah. And was like, yeah, I did that. That was wrong. That was foul. I shouldn't have did that. Well, I do want to say, from going forward, we should work. Now, I agree with her for being a little hesitant, like, we'll see. But not saying no completely, because you never say no. But you just like, okay, I'm gonna remember everything. But as of right now, I'm open to working with you till I can see what you do and see your actions. But if your actions ain't lining up to what we talked about, then, oh, baby, I will be quick to cut you off in a heartbeat, because
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love that Rachel felt more confident to have this conversation as well, given that earlier in the episode, she kind of solidifies to us and to Andy
Yeah.
that her number one right now is Andy. And I do love
Mhm.
this as well. Because Mr. Andy is up in here playing this
And
game.
Andy, I have been holding on to this stand card all season. I have been close to giving it to people, and then I snatched it back because they do something, and I'm like, I don't know. Like Genevieve almost had it, and I was like, oh, no. She can't get it. Andy has positioned himself from week 1 in this game when he blew up and he should have been out the door to this moment right here into the perfect spot in this game. Andy, to me, has the biggest chance of winning this game. I am going to have to hand my stand card over to Andy because, baby, you are playing Survivor like I like to see people play Survivor. I'm never going to play Survivor. I can 100% say that with all the confidence in the world. I would never play Survivor. But if I did play Survivor, I want to play it like you. I want to be so stuck in the middle and everybody is like encasing me in their like everybody is encasing him, and it's like, and then he's getting rid of the people one by one who that person wasn't encased with them, and now they have to be, because it's like, oh, Sam, Sierra's gone, who you go turn to? Me. Oh, Teeny, Saul is gone, who you go turn to? Me. Genevieve, you turn into me. Rachel, you turn into me because I got rid of Annika. Y'all got rid of Rome without me. I ain't have to do that. But Genevieve, you're coming to me. And it's like everybody is coming to him. And this week, I feel like the same thing is happening, because now when we see what happened, who are they going to turn to? Andy. They need another number. And it's, I say Andy is playing this game like I want to see people play this game. It's so methodical, and the fact that he was so far at the bottom and how everybody was trying to come for him because he went on that spiral, and to see the recovery, baby, I ain't never seen nobody recover the way he has, and in the best way possible. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
But here's the thing. I have seen someone recover from an early season blunder to do very well in the season. Financial analyst Emily Flippin. And their games are so similar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about financial analyst.
Financial analyst Emily Flippin walked.
She did.
So baby Andy could run.
And Andy could run to the end. Andy could run right to the end.
I absolutely agree
win
with you.
this.
Because the thing is, nobody's looking at baby Andy right now.
Nope.
Nobody's looking at baby Andy.
Everybody is looking to work with Andy. Everybody want to work with Andy. And I'm like, ooh, woo. And see, maybe I didn't think of Emily because I feel like Emily's blunder at the beginning and Andy's blunder at the beginning were two so contrastly different. But yeah, you are right. You are right. That is such,
because it's a very similar initial blunder, but the way that they have both recovered,
yes, the
recovery has been really, really good to see.
Yeah,
I can see it.
I can see it.
Watch this space for when we're talking about Emily got what, 5th or 6th?
5th.
Let's see. Let's see
how
baby Andy goes.
I feel like baby Andy can make it to the end.
I am equally impressed with Andy as well. I honestly think, and especially after this vote, we'll talk about it. I think this game is honestly wide open to where almost anyone could win. Emphasis on
it's a couple people. It's a couple people who I'm like, oh, they could win. They absolutely could win. But yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay, so we got the teeny monologue in the earlier part of the episode.
Yes.
And then we get this nighttime conversation where we get this gorgeous, phenomenal conversation that I've been waiting for them to have all season,
Mm-hmm.
where Teeny is talking about how they feel very adrift in the game. They're not quite sure where they're at in the game. And it also 100% correlates and parallels with their gender journey, not really exactly knowing where they're at with their gender. We now know, from at least what we understand and from what was implied in the show, they identify as non-binary. I do know that they got their top surgery earlier this year. And I am so I have been hoping that we would get a gender journey conversation with Teeny, because as someone who is still going through their own gender journey, I understand, and I absolutely got exactly where Teeny's coming from. Love Teeny for this. Hated that it then suddenly turned into them with their bag on fire. But love this conversation for Teeny.
I love this conversation for Teeny, and I like the fact that her, because I felt like this was, because at first when they started the conversation and the story, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh no, is this the backstory? Does that mean Teeny's leaving us soon? I
Oh,
don't
no.
want that.
Nope.
I hate that. But then when the bag caught fire and Teeny was like, this has lit the fire that I think I needed, I was like, oh no. Oh
The
no. This is
analogy, the symbolism.
the symbolism of it all. It was like, oh, I like it. This is
And
Teeny rising from the ashes of the burnt bag. And it's like, you know what? I'm not going to let this game drift by me like I used to let like my gender journey until I figured it out. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring out Survivor right now. In this moment, I'm figuring it out, and I know what I need to do. It just gave her laser focus. I love that for her. She's like, I'm not gonna drift through this like I did in life, trying to figure out who I am, knowing who I am, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that in this game, because guess what? I figured it out in my life. I know who I am as a person, and I know who I am gender wise and every other wise. I know who I am. So what I'm gonna have to do now, put on these blinders and focus. Now I'm playing Survivor, and I'm not gonna be going about. She did what I was in as I was watching. I was like, Teeny. I said, Teeny, girl. I need you to close your eyes, shut those emotions off, flip the switch, click it off, and then come back. And I was like, I need you to flip it off, because your emotions are going to be the death of you in this game. Because obviously the people who you are trusting don't care that much about you. They trying to win $1 million. Turn it off. Flip the switch. Do what you got to do. And I think that her bag catching on fire, she was like, you know what? This is the last straw. Focus. I'm focused,
now,
because
all I
loved
need,
it.
all I need now, I swear to God, Jeff Probst, if Teeny is not your guest and your co-host on Fire with Jeff Probst next season, I'm going to be very upset, because her bag was quite literally on fire.
On fire. On fire.
Jeff, Mr. Probst.
We'll clip it and tag you. Look, we need to clip this part and tag him and be like, Jeff.
Oh, I plan on it.
Teeny. On fire next season.
On fire. Period. Thank you.
She needs to be there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you,
Jeff.
Thank you. Bye. Let's talk about this immunity challenge, and more importantly, what happens before the immunity challenge. So
oh my God.
They come in. He's got his little cloche. I'm like, all right, cool, rice. Got it. Everyone's been talking about rice this whole episode.
Right.
Whatever. So we have the rice negotiation. And they kind of start doing a little bit of, Gabe is like trying to lower the price. Caroline is like, well, can a couple people give up their shot in the dark? He's like, no.
So Kyle was like, what about everybody?
I don't remember who
Kyle.
it was.
Kyle.
It was Kyle. Kyle, I think jokingly, originally, was like, well, what if everyone gives up their shot in the dark?
And Jeff was like,
So everyone, mind you, they all have this conversation before Jeff even has agreed to it. That's
Right.
my favorite part about this from Jeff, is that Jeff is not even going to necessarily agree with it immediately.
Right.
And everyone is down to agree with it. Sam is a little hesitant. And I respect the fact that Sam is very openly like, I don't know.
I understand. I was like, Sam, I get it. Where you are
absolutely.
in the pecking order, I get it. You be hesitant.
And Gabe does ultimately provide, honestly, some very, very strong and very correct reasons specifically for Sam to want to do it. And I get it. And Gabe in that moment, A, was very smart, doing the best for his game. B, sunk the hell out of his game.
Yeah.
But
everybody agreed.
Everybody agrees. Everybody gives up their shots in the dark, Jeff. It's not shot in the darks.
No.
It's shots in the dark.
In the dark.
Thank you. Except for Rachel. And I love this full circle moment for Rachel. She tried to steal the rice and now she got the rice without doing a damn thing.
Period. And she didn't have to give up anything because she was like, already used it.
Sorry, guys. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
I get rice for nothing. I get rice for doing nothing.
This feels like vindication, and I'm happy.
It does, because she should have been able to take that rice that she put in her pocket.
Thank you.
Period. But whatever.
And you could see when Rachel was like, oops, I don't have one. Sorry, Jeff. Jeff gave a little bit of a Jeff smile, that classic Jeff smile, and he was like, damn it, you got me.
Right.
And for those reasons, Rachel could also be on 50. If she doesn't win this season.
Period.
But the immunity challenge is the classic balance on a beam, balance a thing on your hand with some balls. And Lana's got it all prepped because obviously she does.
I would lose this challenge in a heartbeat.
I have lost this challenge. I have lost this challenge several times. But yes, so balancing things. And everyone makes it through the first, and then you put another one.
And then you put
who was it that walked in and said, "Damn, Jeff, obsessed with balls much?"
Somebody said it was Caroline, or
it was Caroline or Rachel.
One of them. They were like, "Dang, Jeff with the balls again." Okay, my God.
With the balls again, Jeff? Come on now. We haven't gotten a true hold your body weight endurance challenge yet.
They did that last week. The week before.
Was that?
They did that. Yeah, they did that. The one it was between with the one with Kyle and Sue won together.
Oh. Well, cinematic parallels, because guess what? This challenge comes down to Kyle and Sue again. I gotta say, I'm not loving Sue. Haven't been loving Sue. Very impressed with Sue in immunity challenges, I have to say. Very, very impressed. She gets her due. I'm gonna give her her single kudo or a double kudo.
Yeah, I'll give her 7s.
Sure. Because she is, for a woman of her age, she is slaying these immunity challenges and beating these kids. And I'm happy to see it personally. Based solely on the fact that she is a woman of a certain age. But
absolutely.
Thankfully, Kyle wins immunity again.
Woo! He
is one win away from matching the record.
Yep. I'm so happy.
I hope he gets it.
I hope he gets it. I hope he does.
Yep.
Jonathan who? I don't care about Jonathan. I'm talking about Kyle.
I don't know him.
Don't know him, but I know Kyle.
I love Kyle.
I like Kyle very much.
Our vegetarian king. I love him. But yes. So we go back to camp.
And here's the thing. People were like, Kyle was the name before the challenge. Kyle was like, it's Kyle's the name or Gabe's the name. But it was mostly Kyle because Kyle wins so many immunities. And Kyle continued to win immunities. So guess what? Figure it out. It ain't Kyle.
Yeah. And so it basically comes down to, all right, we're voting someone whose name starts with a G. Which one?
Right. Because
it comes down to, it's Gabe or it's Genevieve. And it's a very valid back and forth. It really is. It comes down to, are we wanting to take out the immediate physical threat or the immediate strategic threat?
Right. And here's the thing that I love seeing because it could have easily been like Caroline could have easily been like, look, Gabe is someone who trusts me, who wants to work with me. I don't feel the need to get rid of him. Could have easily maybe convinced Teeny that Genevieve is the way to go because Genevieve played you. You might want to, get your lick back. Went to Kyle.
And I wouldn't blame him for doing it.
I wouldn't blame Teeny for doing it either. Like, do it. If that's, get your look back. Could have went to Kyle and be like, hey, it'd be great for us to go 2 crew strong 4 because if Gabe is gone, who's the next target? It's you. So we need to get rid of Genevieve at this point. And I feel like those are arguments that could have worked. And it could, like, she started it for a minute because Rachel was on it. Rachel was like, we might need to get rid of Genevieve. Like, Genevieve might be the way to go because Rachel still sees that Genevieve has clocked her game and she has clocked Genevieve's game. And so they're like, okay, we both clocking each other. Who going after who first? And Rachel was like, me. I'll go after her first. And so Rachel was down for it. And she was going to put in the work for a little bit. But it
all kind of fell apart.
It fell apart. I think they kind of just went toward, once it got, the closer it got to tribal council, it was kind of like, okay, y'all, what are we going to do? What is it? What's going to happen? And we, of course, go to tribal council as the audience, not knowing which way it turned, which I love that. Production is doing a much better job this season of making it not as clear every
it's
single
very
time.
ambiguous going into a lot of tribals, and I love it.
Yes,
even like
I love that.
even the early ones, it was still very, very ambiguous. And I think a lot of people complained about that, and I'm appreciating. It feels like the editors. Oh my God, we forgot to talk about this moment, Lana. Oh my God. The old school Survivor edit moment where they clipped 40 clips, it seemed like, of Sue talking about how much she doesn't like Kyle and that she wants to kill Kyle and how she wants to vote out Kyle. I was like,
because he wrote her name down. I don't know if you knew this, Logan,
he wrote my name down.
He wrote her name down. He wrote her name down. Yes. Kyle wrote Sue's name down.
You are joking. I would have never believed it.
I didn't find out until later on that Kyle wrote her name down, but apparently he wrote her name down. And that's why she's so mad and she wants to kill him because he wrote her name down.
I would have never guessed.
Me either.
Never would have guessed. Thank you for providing
this information, editors.
Lana.
You're welcome.
Thank you, editors, and thank you, Lana, for the information. Because I would have never known.
Wouldn't have known. Because he wrote her name down. He wrote her
name down.
Absolutely, he wrote her name down.
One time, Sue, get over it. Anyway, but speaking of Sue, I think the thing that really, really ended up cementing what the vote was going to be, because Rachel was putting in work, but the other person that was kind of putting in work and was kind of on the fence with things was Miss Caroline.
Yes,
because Kyle told Caroline he was ready to flip.
Yeah,
and Kyle understood that with 4 Tukus, they could easily go to the end of the game and it would have been no problem. And I agree. They probably would have. They would have pulled Ariba 2.0 and it would have been, they all would have made it to the end. The moment where Gabe, Caroline, and Sue were together and Gabe was like, we can go to the end together. Yay. That level of patronizing, not acceptable in Miss Caroline's world. And she said, no, thank you. No, thank you. And I am glad that she clocked the hell out of him. I am so glad she clocked the hell out of that man.
Because Caroline knows going to the end with the game that she's played with a person who has been outgoing and loud as Gabe has been, you're not winning.
That ain't gonna work.
You're not winning. And so she's like, no. I need people sitting there next to me who has played a very much quieter game. I mean, love Kyle, but if he don't win his way there, he's not going to get there. Because everybody knows you can't sit in the end with Kyle.
No.
You can't sit in the end with Kyle. He's going to win. He go put on that good old charm of his and talk about his family and how he's been doing this and fighting so hard for his kids and da-da-da-da. And you ain't winning against that. So, honestly, the best bet for a Caroline to get to the end and win She would have to be sitting next to Sue, and you would have to be sitting next to somebody like Rachel.
I wouldn't even say
Or
Rachel. I think at this point, Rachel has a pretty good shot. I would say probably the person to sit next to, honestly, I hate saying this, is probably Teeny.
Teeny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Teeny would have, in that exact scenario, Teeny would have a guaranteed vote.
Oh,
But it's only one.
there's only one.
Or you could sit next to someone like Sam. As of this moment, because Sam
Yeah.
hasn't made a whole bunch of big moves. His big move right now is Annika.
Yeah.
But that was
And she
honestly
ain't
more
sure.
Sierra's move than it was Sam's move. Sam was part of the move. Sierra was the one that initiated the Annika move.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Because Sierra didn't have to vote Annika. She could have voted Andy.
And Andy would not be here, and Annika probably still would be.
Yep. And so it's like, oof. So I don't know. I think Sam is a good choice. Teeny is a good choice.
But this game is so up in the air that at this point, the only person I could see as a GOAT at the end of the game is Sue.
Ooh.
She's the only person.
And then she still has an idol that she has not played. And nobody, and the only person who knows about it is Caroline. Yes.
Sue is still very dangerous.
Yep. There's only two idols out there. And no one knows about the second one, which is Rachel's.
Yeah, Rachel's. Yeah.
Nobody knows about Rachel's.
This game is still so up in the air, and I absolutely love it. But Sue might need to use that immunity idol sooner rather than later. Because she was the only person left out of the vote.
Yep.
That sent Gabe to the jury.
Yep.
Now,
I want to see the fallout from that between her and Caroline. I wonder if there's going to be.
I am excited for the fallout. I am excited for the fallout because Sue is going to be angry.
She's going to be mean.
Sue is going to be angry.
Mad, honey.
And I'm happy to see it. So, all things considered, I do think Gabe has played a very good game. A very solid game. He's never been my favorite, unfortunately.
He was messy from the beginning with the whole idol hunt thing, and I was kind of like,
And then him coming after Tiana and robbing Tiana, I will not get over that, and I'm glad.
I'll never forgive you for that.
Nope.
I will never forgive him for that.
Nope.
I will never. Just like I never forgive him.
Brought back for 50. I'm not mad. I don't think she will, but I wouldn't be mad. But
no.
Gabe is gone. Gabe is now the third member of our jury. And I want to end this episode by talking about something that happened at this tribal council.
Okay.
Because they walked in. And it was raining. And I waited until the end.
Yes.
So we could
I'm glad you did.
our thirst out at the end of the episode. Because the way... And
I wish we had a picture.
For Sierra, too. Because Sierra looked
I wish we had a picture. I wish we had a picture.
I know. But the way, the way they walked in, and Sierra was looking gorgeous. Gorgeous. But the way Daddy Saul walked into that tribal council, Lord Jesus.
My God, today.
Lord Jesus.
My God, today. I never.
A shower, a shave, and a vest is all he needed. And we have been here thirsting over Daddy Saul all season.
Yes.
All season.
All season long.
Whew!
I was like, wait, hold on. Excuse me?
Excuse me?
Hello?
Because we've been new.
We've been new. But like, what?
Huh?
Excuse me?
Huh?
Oh.
I was the living embodiment of the red face sweating emoji. Just.
Baby, I was so like,
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. Ooh.
Oh, I can't. I was like, not the rain adding to the just beautifulness that is Saul
Glistening.
right now.
Glistening.
Saul
Beautiful.
never needs to wear another
Stunning.
shirt. Like just a
No.
vest. Just the
Or
vest.
if you're gonna wear a shirt, wear it open.
Open or one of those short sleeve shirts. Oh,
I know he's married,
look,
but I would.
I know you're married in a respect to your wife.
In a respectful way.
In a very respectful way to your wife, because and he is close to
Good
my
for
age
you,
too.
gal. Good for you, gal.
Good. Look, he close to my age too, and I don't feel weird about saying stuff like that. Daddy,
My boyfriend's around his age, so I don't care.
Saul
Anyway.
is good looking, and that was the best.
Yes.
Sierra, you look bomb, girl.
Sierra
Bomb.
looked gorge.
Bomb, girl.
The
Love
hottest jury of
that.
all time. Hottest jury of all time.
Thus far, the two of them. That's it. I don't know what everybody else gonna look like coming in. I don't have high hopes for Gabe. I don't know, unless I don't know. He might pull his hair back or something. I don't know. But
now Gabe with a little bun.
He gives me
up well. We'll see.
We'll see. But
we'll see. But we had to end with the thirst because we didn't want to spend the whole back half of the pod with the thirst. So I wanted to save it for the end so we could get our little thirst out and then we're done. So with that being said, we got 4 more episodes in this season. I could not tell you who's going to win. And I love that. I love that. I love a season where I can't predict who's going to win. So thank you so much for joining us for this Survivor at 47, episode 10 recap. We'll be back next week. Same time, same us, same all the things. Talking about episode 11. The preview looks interesting. And we'll see what happens. So in the meantime, subscribe, like, and share on the way out. Let us know all your thoughts on this episode down in the comments below. And make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to cup mug. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So cheers, Lana.
Cheers, Logan.